And then the third is the impact, that if you have an impact. So who determines impact? So, so now who are these social media users? They are not necessarily all journalists. They are imams, they are priests, they are business people, they are ordinary citizens, students, and so on. So that is why these regulations do not capture only journalists. It is an attack on every citizen. And if you now consider content, what they say about content, you realize that it completes the assault. Because content, meaning whatever you put on social media, for example, or you report as a media, that content, who determines that content? There's no framework, for example, or definition, but Pura is the one to determine whether that content, is it suitable, yes, or is it prohibited? And then Pura is the one that has the power to tell you to take it down. And Pura is the one that determines, therefore, you have violated, the content, guidelines. So therefore, they can cancel or suspend your registration. Now, they went further to even say they are going to create a contents committee, all right, contents complaint committee, and did not determine who will be members of that. Some individuals from stakeholders. Now, who are these stakeholders? But certainly under under Pura, and which is answerable to the minister. And the whole process is such that it is not subjected to judicial review. So essentially, between Pura and the minister, they can take decisions. They can impose sanctions, and So when you consider all of that, you get to realize, therefore, these regulations are essentially aimed at silencing citizens. Because when you say content, this morning we were having a conversation here about content. One of the online media made a post, Barrow at the launching of the Q group headquarters.
Yes.
All right, Bessel Media. Yes. Right. If you saw it, you would see Mr. Ja and Mr. Barrow. Some movement. You see,
Yes.
So certain movement was captured.
Yes.
But in the way it is, one can interpret it as maybe there's a struggle going on between them.
Yeah.
Now, according to these content complaints guidelines, the Pura can sit and say this content is not appropriate. So they can tell the media, bring it down. Or you cover a lot of protest. You can cover protest, and they said your report is promoting incitement violence, and so it should be brought down. All right. They also even talked about elections, for example, that you should give fair coverage to all parties. All right. But we know there are parties and candidates that are very popular and prominent, and those that are not so popular and prominent are coming. So that essentially they are telling you you have to give them equal coverage. Now that is interfering with editorial independence and creating censorship, because certainly when you open the newspaper, any media, not just in the Gambia but in any democracy, there are certain politicians, certain political parties would gain prominence simply because of their their popularity, as opposed to some other parties, politicians who are very obscure. Now, it is not to say we discriminate the ones that are young and upcoming or just starting and so on, and we should favor these other people. But that is also the reality in the political framework. Yes, because today when I ask you, or you ask me, you ask anybody in the Gambia, tell me one politician you know. You are not going to call Fabrama Kinde over there, who nobody knows. You most likely will say Adama Barrow or Usainu Dabo, yes. All right? Yes, or Mama Kande. And because I said that, therefore, or I give coverage to that, therefore, I'm violating the content guidelines. So these and many elements in the document, you realize, creates a space for Pura and the ministry, therefore, to decide to close this one or let this one go. And this is why these regulations are dangerous. They are draconian, and as I said, they are unnecessary, because already we have a media commission in this country. The Ministry of information, if that's going to support the media, and you feel the media commission is weak, or, go and support them, empower them. Yeah, build their capacity. If you feel our journalists, our journalists are doing great work, but if you feel their capacity is low, there are issues, professors, so and so on, go and empower the University of the Gambia School of Journalism. Empower Majak, expand, train journalists, create opportunities, capacity building opportunities, and so on, so that you improve their capacity. But again, the media in the Gambia, as the minister likes to create a situation as if there's a crisis, that they are, I don't know, wanting to burn down this country, no, it doesn't exist. We read our papers, we follow our online media and all our journalists. How many times would you see somebody say, I'm misquoted, or I'm taking a journalist to court for misreporting me? The only people who do that is the government people. And it is not like they are right, but because they don't want to be held to account. The president has taken journalists to court for no reason. Ministers have taken journalists to court for no reason, because the journalists just hold them to account. The Musa Sharif and the Voice newspaper report on the succession of Barrow. You assess that according to journalistic standards. It's in place. There's no need to go there. You read the report of the Alcamba Times regarding the Minister of Justice, Environment. The report meets all the journalistic standards. There's no reason for the Environment Minister to threaten them with court action. All right? But they do these things because they don't want to be held to account. And now you want to hide behind a regulation so that you can silence to prevent journalists from playing their constitutional role. Section 208 said the media in the Gambia is mandated to hold the government of the Gambia accountable on behalf of the people. Now, that is not going to be an easy job there. No. And we are not going to relent. Yes, and I hope the journalists will stand to resist.
I'm sure that's exactly what they are going to do. Please, guys, get your